Hey everyone, Unit 3A study guide. Let's do it. Find the percent change to the nearest whole percent. Okay, well I'm going to use the formula for this one. So the formula for this is our percent change formula, which is the second number minus the first number divided by the first number times 100. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going from 45 to 95 feet. Now one thing to keep in mind as well is I'm increasing here, right? So this is going to go uphill, so it's going to be an increase. So you can immediately know it's not a decrease. Well, let's go ahead and put the numbers in. Second number is 95. I'm going to go to n over d so it looks a little nicer. 95 minus 45 divided by 45, right? So second number minus first number divided by first number times 100, okay? That's going to give me this improper fraction. We're just going to go ahead and change that by doing second table, enter. All right, so we have 111.1. We know it's an increase because it's a positive number. If this was a negative number, we would know it would be a decrease, but it is going to be an increase, positive number. D is the answer. Number 2, find the percent change round to the nearest whole percent. Okay, this is weird because it's asking us to change it to the whole percent. So same process, same formula, right? So second number, which is 85, minus the first number, divided by the first number, times 100. Okay, and again, we're going to put that in the calculator, and we're going to see what we get, right? So n over d, 85 minus 74 over 74 times 100. Okay, it's going to give us that improper fraction again. We'll do second and table and enter. So now it wants the whole percent. So we're going to round to the nearest whole, which is 15. So our answer for that is 15. Okay. All right, state if it's an increase or decrease. It's an increase. And we can tell it's an increase two ways. Number one, we went from a smaller number to a bigger number. Clearly that's increasing, but also too, the calculator tells us that it's increased because this is positive, right? So I just wrote increase, but we can do that too. All right. Number 3, at a middle school, 74 students have freckles. Okay, so 74 students have freckles. There are 258 students in the school. To the nearest tenth of a percent, what percent of the students have freckles? Okay, so there's not really a formula that we've talked about that applies to this problem. This is part over whole, and that's all, right? So 74 students have freckles. That's a part. There are a total of 258 students in the school. So we're just going to divide these two numbers and see what we get. So this is really division by 74 divided by 258. And it gives us this weird decimal. Now, I know you're looking at this and saying, well, this doesn't match. Well, why not? This is 0.286. And if I rounded that 6 up to the next number, it'd be a 7. So this decimal is exactly the same as B, this percent. Now, how do we change it? Well, the calculator doesn't do a great job of giving us percentages out of the blue. But if we multiply by 100, that's exactly the same thing, right? So B is our answer there, okay? So again, this is just a simple part over whole problem. It doesn't really apply to anything we've done so far. All right, write this decimal as a percent. Okay, so whenever we have a decimal, we're just going to move that decimal place 2 times to the right. So decimal to percent, we move right, or move 2 to the right. Percent to decimal, we move 2 to the left. Okay, so that's really, really, really important stuff. Okay, so if I move this decimal 2 times to the right, 1, 2, this becomes 6.5%, which is choice C. Okay. Number 5, 3 is what percent of 50? Okay, so this is and of thing is its own independent formula. The formula is the is number over the of number is going to equal the percent number over 100. So 100 will always be 100. You don't ever have to change that. You don't have to look for something else. So let's plug in the numbers from this question into this and cross multiply. 3 is, okay, that's 3 is, and so 3. Of 50, okay, so 50. Right, so the 3 is the is number and 50 is the of number because that's what this sentence says. Now, we don't know the percent. It says what percent. So we're going to put X for our percent, our unknown, over 100. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to cross multiply. 3 times 100 is 300 equals 50 times X, which is 50X. And we have a simple one-step equation, everybody. We're going to divide by 50 on both sides. And X equals 6. So that's 6%. So answer C. Okay? Let's keep going. There are 270 girls enrolled at Park Lake Middle School. If 54% of all the students enrolled at the school are girls, how many students are enrolled? Okay, this is a couple of ways we can do this, but this is really a hidden is of percent 100 problem. There are 270 girls enrolled at Park Lake Middle School. That's is, because R is. Okay. Of, well, we don't know the of, because it's asking us for how many total students. So think of this as a part over a whole. We don't know the of, but we do know the percent number because it's given to us, 54. And that's going to be over 100, okay? Cross multiply. 54 times x, right? So 54x is going to equal 270 times 100, which is going to be 27000. Divide by 54 on both sides. Okay, and that's going to give me x. I think it's 500. Let's go check it out. So 27,000 divided by 54 is 500. There are 500 students totally in the school. So x is 500. Okay. All right. Number 7. A $79 television is on sale for $65. What percent discount was given? Okay. This is percent change. The percent change formula. Okay. Second number minus first number over first number times 100. All right. Second number is 65 minus 79 over 79 times 100. Let's plug that in the calculator. And again, let's do the N over D button. It's just going to be a little bit easier. 65 minus 79 over 79 times 100. See how we can just put that in all in one? It's nice. Okay, so I got a negative number, so we know we're decreasing. All right, so let's do second table to change it to a decimal. Negative 17.7. Now, it doesn't have decimals as our answer choices, but we're going to round it to the nearest whole number. So we have an 18% decrease. Now, it doesn't say decrease, but it does say what percent discount. So we're assuming that they're all decreasing. Okay, so 7 is going to be A. All right. Number 8, a notebook costs $450 plus sales tax. After sales tax, the notebook is $486. What is the sales tax rate? Okay, so we can go ahead and do the percent increase or decrease problem again. So second number, 4.86 minus first number, 4.50 over 4.50 times 100. Let's do it. N over D again. 4.86 minus 4.5 over 4.5 times 100. That's 8 straight up. No change needed. The sales tax rate is 8%. Not bad. All right. Group of friends went to lunch. The bill before sales and tax and tip was $37.50. Okay, $37.50 was how much the food cost. Nothing else. That's just how much the food cost. Sales tax of 8% was added. The group then tipped 18% on the amount after the sales tax was added. Okay, so here's how this works. Whenever you have a bill and there's tax, the tax has to be applied first, no matter what. The tax has got to be applied first. So we have a formula for this, and the tax slash markups formula, because they're the same exact thing, the formula is the principal amount, which is the starting value, is going to be multiplied by 1 plus the rate as a decimal. So the principal is the starting amount of money, or the starting amount of whatever we're talking about, times the quantity of 1 plus the rate as a percentage. Okay, so here's what we do. The principal is $37.50 times 1 plus the rate as a decimal. Don't put 8 here because it's not a decimal yet. We got to move that decimal twice to the left. And be careful here because we keep messing up on this over and over again. It's 0.08. It's not 0.8. It's 0.08 because 8%, right? If I move that imaginary decimal place twice to the left, it's 0.08. The little loop here needs a 0. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put this in the calculator. We're going to get this value first. We're going to do $37.50. I'm going to put it in parentheses just like I say it. Okay. $40.50. Now, what I could also do is I could also just do $37.50 times 1.08. Same thing. Okay. Whatever you're more comfortable with is fine with me. So 40.5. Okay. So $40.50. So $40.50. Now, this question is very challenging. It says, what was the amount in dollars of the sales tax? They only wanted to know what the sales tax cost was. So if I knew that $40.50 was the amount with the sales tax from the $37.50, I could just subtract these two numbers. And if I subtract 40.5 minus 37.5, the tax was $3. Okay. Now, there's another way to get the tax, because if it wants the tax by itself, there's another way to do it. We can just simply multiply 3750 times 0.08. Now, the question only wanted to know how much the sales tax was, like how many dollars was the sales tax by itself. So 3 is the answer to this first part. But we're gonna need this other number, which is the bill, the total bill, the cost of the food, plus the sales tax, which is $40.50. Because now look what it's asking us. It's asking us what was the total amount the group paid, including tax, which is this money, this dollar amount, and the tip. So now let's go back to see what the tip was. The tip was 18%. So we're using the same formula, but now we're gonna use this new number. So we're gonna say 40.50 is gonna be multiplied by 1 plus the 18%, which is 0.18. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. 40.50 times 1 plus 0.18, and that's $47.79. That is the answer to this problem. Okay. Now you might be asking yourself, how come I can't just do this all in one? How come I can't do 8% sales tax plus 18% tip? Well, the tax has got to be applied because that's law. The sales tax of whatever you're buying at the store or whatever you're eating at the restaurant, it's part of how you can get up and walk out of that store without the cops getting called on you. So this tax has got to be applied first. The tip amount was something that the friends decided on. You don't have to give 18% tip. In fact, you don't have to give any tip. I don't advise that, but you don't have to give 18%. The sales tax of 8% has got to be added, okay? So we got to do one before the other, and we're going to see that again later on. Okay. A new phone costs $450. There's a 40% discount on the price of the phone and an 8% sales tax on the discounted price. What is the final cost of the phone? Okay, now this one's a little bit weird. It says there's a 40% discount on the price of the phone and then 8% sales tax on the discount price. 8% sales tax on the discount price. So we got to apply the discount first in this particular problem. So discount formula, it's not exactly the same as the tax or markups because tax and markups is a plus. Discount is going to be a minus. So that formula is P times the quantity of 1 minus R. So let's do that. 450 is P. 1 minus the 40% discount is 0.40. Got to do that first in the calculator, guys. Right? So we're going to do 40 or 450 times 1 minus 0.4, which is $270. All right, so the $270 is the cost of the phone after the discount. Not bad, not a bad discount. Now I gotta add that 8% sales tax to it. So now we're gonna go back to the markup formula and say 270 times 1 plus 0.08, and that's gonna be the final cost of our phone. So 270 times 1.08 or 1 plus 0.08, 291.60. This is the final cost of the phone after the discount and after the tax is applied. So 291.6 or 291.60 cents. Okay, I'm gonna do one more and then we're gonna go ahead and stop for a little bit. Joseph's Lunch Date Restaurant costs $13 without tax. He leaves the waiter a tip of 17% of the cost of the lunch without tax. What is the total cost of the lunch, including tip, without tax? Okay, so they say without tax a lot. So there's no tax here. I don't know where he's eating. Restaurant. I don't understand. There's always tax on food. Anyway, so $13 without the tax. He's adding a tip of 17%, so it's adding. So this is going to be $13 times the quantity of 1 plus 0.17, because the tax was 17%, so I have to change that to a decimal. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to have 13. I'll put that for just so we can have fun here. 1 plus 0.17, so it's going to be $15.21. Right? So that's the cost of the food totally. Okay? All right. See you in a bit.